conversation with one of the leading lights of Southeast Asian studies. Our guest's impact on Philippine and Southeast Asian scholarship may be gleaned from the broad range of departments and programs sponsoring this forum. Today's sponsors are the Asian Center, the Asian Politics and Policy Journal, the Asian Studies Journal, the UP Department of English and Comparative Literature, the UP Department of Political Science, and the UP Third World Studies Center. In different ways, each of us works in areas influenced by Professor Anderson's thought and writing. And that's a real testament to his intellectual ability and broad-ranging curiosity. Today, we will begin, but I fear only begin, to explore the life and work of Dr. Anderson. We've assembled a diverse group of scholars to enter into a conversation with Benedict Anderson. We're deeply grateful that he's agreed to come here and submit to this interrogation. For the opening remarks, I would like to call on Dr. Aileen Baviera, who is the Editor-in-Chief of the Asian Politics and Policy International Journal, Professor at and former Dean of the Asian Center. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Baviera.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I feel very honored this morning to be welcoming our distinguished guest, Professor Ben Anderson, on behalf of the UP Asian Center, which is playing host to this important occasion. Our Dean, Dr. Caroline Sobichea, unfortunately cannot join us today due to a prior out-of-town engagement, but she sends her good wishes. There are few scholars in the social sciences and humanities around who do not know of Professor Ben Anderson's contributions to comparative politics and their applications to area studies, history, anthropology, languages, literature, and the like. Most certainly, here at the Asian Center, his works on Southeast Asia, including the Philippines, are staple fare in the syllabi offered to our graduate students. Who, for instance, hasn't heard of the phrase imagined communities, attributed to his seminal work, Imagined Communities, Reflections on the Origin and Spread of Nationalism. Since the 1983 publication of that work and its 1991 reissue, it continues to be widely cited, and one suspects that social scientists never looked at the nation-state and nationalism in the same way again after that. As testimony to the extent and value of his contributions, today's event, as earlier mentioned by Tonet, is co-organized by two academic publications: Asian Studies Journal, published by the UP Asian Center and edited by Professor Ed Tadas, and Asian Politics and Policy, published by Y.E. Blackwell and edited by yours truly. Also joining us as co-sponsors are other units of the university, the Department of English and Comparative Literature, the Department of Political Science, the Third World Studies Center. Allow me please to give just a little background on how this event was conceived. When Ed Tadan first mentioned to me that Professor Ben Anderson would be coming to Manila, this young journal, Asian Politics and Policy, or APP, which started only in 2009, was in the process of planning its next quarterly issue. APP has a special section which features interviews with or papers written by outstanding personalities, all of them so far distinguished practitioners and experts in their respective fields. The section editor is also a colleague at the Asian Center, Dr. Eduardo Gonzalez, who is among those seated before us this morning. Now, departing from the journal's usual format of inviting policy practitioners for this section, Ed Gonzalez and I immediately recognized what a coup it would be to feature an interview with Ben Anderson himself. To make things even more interesting, the two Eds, Ed Gonzalez and Ed Tadan, put their heads together and proposed a panel interview format. Then, to maximize the learning experience, we said, why not bring in our faculty and researchers and students? Thus, the idea for this special public forum was born. 4 scholars from the University of the Philippines, trained in different disciplines, will be engaging Professor Anderson in conversation. They have prepared very interesting questions, which we hope both Professor Anderson and our audience will Facilitating the conversation is Professor Tenet Narisa, who we have already met. I will shortly turn you over to Tenet so that she may introduce the members of the panel. So once more, a warm welcome to all of you. Salamat sa inyong pagdalo. Mabuhay kayo lahat.